Hi, Jocelyn. Thank you so much for booking your very own 1 hour long tarot reading session. So let's begin. You said, hey, Tony, I would like a 1 hour video done in ASMR. Okay, absolutely. Oops, got a phone call. Could you open with a prayer? Absolutely. And then do a tarot reading. And for the last minutes, could you read some scriptures I've listed and do a closing prayer? Yes, you can post public. I'm always hesitant to do that when people tell me because it's your personal private reading. And there's a lot of energies that can interfere. Although I do believe in the power of prayer and that can protect you from that. I'll see how it goes. I do appreciate you giving me permission. I'll see how it goes. If it gets too deep and personal and private, and sometimes I have to share my own personal private experiences in these sessions, which I never do online publicly. So if I think it's valid for public post, and then I'll send it to you, and if you think it's valid for public post, then we'll post it. But I rarely ever do that. But that's a good idea. Like, I've never actually posted I don't think I've ever actually posted a client's tarot reading as a video itself. So I'll have to see. But yeah, I will start off with a prayer. I just want to read your message first, okay? So I know what to pray about. Yes, hopefully this helps someone else. I've been recovering from stress and sudden liver issues since 2020. I'm so sorry to hear that. Crazy because I'd quit drinking altogether years prior. Shake my head. Yeah, a lot of times liver issues come up even without drinking. I know someone that has been through that, like awful issues, and they can't drink anymore, but it's just wild how that happens. I'm sorry you're going through that. I don't use headphones to listen to your videos. I only mention it so if there's a usual whisper or soft-spoken you normally use, I prefer that over a quieter whisper. Okay, absolutely. And I usually always edit these bookings and adjust the volume so it would be louder for most people to hear. No mention of... Okay, I won't even say that the trigger words. Okay, I'll try not to mention those words that you just specified, because if I mention it, like even just mentioning the word can be triggering, so I get it. Anyways, I love I love your videos. Thank you so much. We share the same birthdays. September 13, girl. Virgo tribe, yes. And your stories make me feel like we're kindred spirits. Absolutely. You'll always have a friend in me. Oh, thank you. Wishing you well. My YouTube is... Oh, you have a YouTube channel. ASMR Wishes. But you can... Oh, see, now that's why you wanted me to post public. No, I'm just playing with you. I'm playing. Okay, shout out to ASMR Wishes. But you can shout me out as Jocelyn, if you like, right? Let's see here. Keep up the great work and thanks again. Oh boy. Okay, so I have to Google these prayers. So you want it? Okay, how about I just do... Okay, I'll open with my own custom prayer, and then at the end I will have to Google the Romans. So I gotta remind myself to leave some room and time to do that for this session. All right. And I'll look you up later, but I never look up clients' information. Ever, never. Because then all of a sudden I have biased judgment. Everyone does if they research their client heavily, right? Never. I just go off the feeling, so I'll look you up later. You sound familiar. I'm not sure if we've spoken before or something, but I'll look you up. So right now for Jocelyn, so basically what you said is stress and liver issues. That's all you said. So we're going to focus on, in general, I guess in a sense, a general reading too, general messages. So let me put the phone away really quick, because I would like to begin this prayer for Jocelyn. And I pray, Lord, that you continue to give her good health, protect her, guide her, give her what she needs to know about her health. I know I've been going through my own health stuff lately as well, so please protect all of us, even everyone watching if this is posted publicly. Protect us all from any ailments, dis-ease, discomforts of the body. Heal us from within. Please heal Jocelyn. Allow her to recover fully. Lord, I know you have supernatural abilities and you give miracles and blessings. So please shower this blessing upon her today, right now. And allow us to open in and tap in to deliver this reading message through you so that we can get an accurate reading and depict exactly what she needs to know, what's going on. Thank you. Amen. So, all right. So I'm just going to Google the Romans now so I don't have to do that again. 5:1-5. Oh, Psalm 91. Oh boy, see, I'm going to have to pause the video and do the research because, see, I can only read, if this is public, I can only read the public domain version. So let me look that up real quick. Public domain. If I have it saved, maybe I'll type Bible. Nope, I do not have it saved. So what I'm going to have to do is go on Google. Public domain, Bible, Holy Bible. I hope I can find it. I hope I can find it. ebible.org. I think that's the one. The World English Bible. There we go. So it's easier to scroll. So there's Romans. No. Where's Romans? Lord have mercy. Come on, Romans. There we are. Romans. So you had requested 5 first and then 8. Okay, so let's skip to 5. There is 5. You said specifically 1-5. 5:1-5. Perfect. So that's a short paragraph. All right. I saved it to my phone. Okay, so we're good. Okay, so for Jocelyn, let's officially begin. They've been dealing with liver issues since 2020. Even though they don't drink, what's going on? Let's tap in and connect. It's divinely guided messages and frequencies. They've been dealing with on and off stress. What's been happening, anything in general we need to know about Jocelyn as well. Advice, guidance, and wisdom is always welcomed and greatly appreciated. Thank you. Let's begin. Are you a frequent commenter on my videos? I think that just downloaded. I feel like I maybe seen your name in the comments. There's a lot of cups. Cups. Well, not too much, but it seemed like a lot at first. I just kept pulling cups. Cups cards. Cups, pentacles, wands. Even before I pulled the cups, you did give me that water sign vibe. I don't know why. That was like also my first impression. Could be sun, rising moon. I could never assume, but you did say you don't. You did say you don't drink. I mean, I just want to clarify that. Yeah, you quit drinking years together. Years ago. Years prior, all together. That's what you said. This cup also means drink too. So it's like you denying the drink, like literally, like you did quit. But it could have been, I have my gut feeling contributed. It could have added up, right? Sometimes it affects a long time after. So I'm not saying that was the cause. It doesn't feel right that that was the cause, but it definitely was a factor. So if drink was a thing back then, and it was a lot, that could be what I'm sensing here. It added up. You may not have noticed the first year, 4 years in, however many years in, and then it just sort of, especially if we quit something like what they call cold turkey. Sometimes, I'm not a doctor, this is not medical advice, but this is just entertainment purposes only, but that can do damage, right? So I don't know how you eased off or how much you did drink and then eased off, but this seems to be the thing here first coming through. My first impression. But it's good you're totally clean, totally sober. You are good there. So it's like you halted more damage than could have already occurred. I know there's such a thing as like a fatty liver. That's another thing. Like there's so many different liver diseases. It's not just from drinking. So, but I feel like that contributed. So it's like you knew to quit before you knew, right? You saw what could have been coming. Maybe you had like warning signs in your body and you just felt like, you know what, this is not the best for me. And this was like something to scare you. Sometimes spirit has to scare us to initiate. Oh, that's my laundry machine. I'm sorry. I forgot I've been so forgetful lately. I forgot I even put laundry in the laundry machine. Can you believe that? Anyway, look, I would say, Jocelyn, that spirit sometimes has to scare us to initiate a change. So even myself included with some health stuff, it's like, stop eating too much sugar, fatty foods, greasy foods, like, you know, don't eat that garbage anymore. Anything in a can, and I'm like, you know, too many preservatives, right? Like, yeah. So sometimes you have to get a health scare to be like, hey, knock it off, you know, or to tone it down a bit, because also you and I are in the same boat. Like I also had a lot of stress lately too, so it's like that triggered it too. So in a sense, I sense that it's crazy how we're all connected, but I sense that they had to scare you with love. It's like when a mother yells at you, a father yells at you, but with love, to say, hey, you're gonna burn your hand if you put your hand on the stove again, right? Did you ever do that? Like, yeah, ouch. So, they don't yell at you for nothing. It's a lot of times out of love, like, hey, you know, that's your warning sign, like, stop, you know, and you were right to stop. But it bothers that you did stop and still issues. So there's something else here under the surface, a recurring theme here. It could have been why you used to drink, because a lot, you know, most people drink, let's be honest, right? Can't stop them. A lot of people for fun, but a lot of people for, I'm going to drown out my sorrow today because work sucked. I hate my life and I just don't want to feel anything right now, right? I just want to feel good, instant good, right? So it's about, this is your time to work through the recurring issues. So I do believe emotional stuff oftentimes does cause discomfort, dis/ease in the body, allegedly, okay? Because this is all about emotions, emotional based issues. So what have you left unsaid, unspoken? Liver often is by, I feel like it's like the lung, the diaphragm, right? When we breathe, where we breathe and exhale is the throat. So I associate that with the throat chakra. Could also be heart and I think liver is mostly the heart or solar plexus, but I also, the neighbor, you have to look at the neighbor chakras, throat. So this is coming through his throat, honestly, because it's where you're breathing and your lungs are so close to your liver. No? There's a spleen, the liver, and then north of it is the lungs. No? The diaphragm. The rib cage. The liver is one of the upper organs, right? Is it not? Anyway, so how you're speaking, how you're communicating, what do you need to say out loud is my mental impression here. All right, in this Five of Cups. You know, it's funny, I just got this triggering pain again. It's the power of psychology is so powerful, isn't it? I used to have this triggering pain when I drank a lot too, and I quit 10 months ago too. I quit too, I mean, but mine was 10 months ago instead of years ago. But here, right here, where I think your spleen would be, that's where my trigger point is. But I associate that with the liver because it's also near the liver. It's like the tip of the liver. And it's like I got that sharp pain again because I'm very hypersensitive, so sometimes I actually feel people pain. So I don't know if you feel it there, but I feel like a sharpness. So maybe, I don't know if you have a ting there too sometimes, like a tinging feeling, like a sharpened pain or something, or discomfort. But it just reminded me of my, almost like a trigger point, like, you know, when I think of drink or booze or something, that's like immediately my body like, stop, no. So I don't know how I'm connecting this with you, but wow, it's pinging. I haven't felt this pinging in so long. That's crazy. Our minds are so powerful, right? When we even just think of something, we feel it, no? Was it 4 or 5 years ago that you quit? I'm getting 4 or 5. 3, 4, 5, something like that. No, 4. 2. Oh my God. Okay. I'm going to say 3 to 4. It takes a while. It took a while for my pinging to stop, you know? Sometimes it does more damage than we think and realize, and every body is so different. It's just because, you know, someone is drinking for 20 years and they're fine doesn't mean we will, right? So, like, we're all different. So I think this is what they're trying to say to you. Like, it's okay, relax into it and understand that you have to sometimes feel it. You have to feel the pain, the discomfort. You have to feel to heal. So sit in it a little bit. So if something gives you issues, something flares up again, sit in it. We sometimes tend to run to the things that try to cover it up, or, you know, we stress about it more. That could be it, though. Like, the stress could be it too, right? Just like me thinking of it pinged, the stress of even just having to go through another issue with the liver for you is contributing factor. Or just thinking in general, like, oh my God, what if it flares up again? And then bam, it does, because we stressed about it. So this is where is this stress coming from? This is where I'm getting at, the underlying emotion. I think you're just unhappy with how things turned out sometimes, and that's okay. It's okay to say, I'm unhappy right now. I'm sad. This is also sadness. You know, sadness is a way for us to just say we need help. And it's a beautiful emotion. It's a good emotion to feel. It's like a good starting point to say, you know, I'm at this breaking point where I need help. I need guidance. I need something. A savior to come through. And it's beautiful you believe in the power of prayer, so I hope this helps. But you're hesitant. I think maybe you're hesitant about how to approach certain things with health. Maybe you go to the physician and they recommend you one thing and you want to do another, or you're not sure that thing will work or it hasn't worked. And then you need to take on a new approach. So that's also stressful now. You've probably been to many doctors, many different recommendations in your past. You couldn't have seen this coming. You've been told this, that, and the third. It's like you know so much information about this that you don't know at the end. It's like there's always going to be like even doctors telling you like one thing and then another thing, and you're left really feeling lost and confused and hopeless sometimes because there's so many contradictions to health. There really is. And at the end of the day, we have to trust our own guidance sometimes when no one can help us but God and ourselves. So I get it. I think this is frustrating. I feel the frustration here. This is the stressful part. But the stress is what is going to contribute to this continuing. So how can you manage stress? How can you realize, you know what? I can live with this. Sometimes just accepting you can live with something is letting go, right? We're always taught to fight, to resist. But when we accept this is how things are and something needed change, and that's when Spirit can help us most, in a sense, right? Is when we just realize, wow, this is it, I guess. We let go. We let God, and we forgive ourselves for what we put through. What we put ourselves through, Jocelyn. And then there's a new path. I think they're trying to show you a new path here. It takes you needing to open up to listen, to have the ears to listen to creation, to source, and to say, I'm listening. I hear your word. Okay, I wasn't going to bring up the thing that you told me not to bring up, those trigger words. But I don't see the thing. I just see like a web. Okay, they're showing me, oftentimes they show me something. How can I, like, imagine yarns of string, and they're all put together in a web, right? Yarns of string, like your mother used to knit those yarns. And they're all like, I see a web, okay? A web could mean like World Wide Web, okay? That's what I see, a web. And it's like an advanced, imagine like a bunch of wires and cables, like, plugged together. Advanced interconnected system. So this is how your body is. And I have a feeling that they're showing me this because there's not one right way or route for you to do this. This feels like a soul-assigned journey. I'm going to say it. Sometimes we come here and agree to have certain things to deal with, certain issues, certain problems, so that we can find the enlightenment within, the peace. You know, that we don't fear the problem. A lot of times when people have health issues, they are afraid, they're terrified, and those emotions feed it, feed the issue, make it worse, instead of just letting go and releasing it and saying, you know what? Nah, I'm not going to have anxiety about this anymore. And sometimes having anxiety is tough because you have more anxiety about having more anxiety. So it's like, ugh. So thank God it's not that. But maybe. Anxiety is linked with stress, stress linked with anxiety. I don't say anything by accident. With these readings. I don't. So maybe you are having some anxiety. Maybe. Actually, now that I think about it. So you see the advanced interconnected cable web, yarns of string. What does a web like that with strings always have? A center point to hold it together, right? And so that's like your heart. You're the centerpiece of this advanced network web of everything. And we all are, and we're all connected with each other. This whole universe is a whole web. We're weaved in a web, like a knitting, like a fabric, right? So they call it the fabric of the universe. It makes sense. And you can bend it, fold it, So what I'm trying to get at here, you're not alone. Even you just sharing this public is like, let me reach out. Let me help those who are going through the same thing. And it's okay to say, let me help myself too, because yeah, sometimes we need that cry for help, to be like, I need help. I'm in dire need of help. And that's okay. And I'd love people to leave it respectable in the comments, but if someone can, give some guidance or, send ASMR wishes, a message on their socials if they have any, go on their channel and communicate. Maybe there's a doctor watching, who knows, who can help her. So this is what I feel compelled to say, honestly. I almost want to cry. I think you've reached your breaking point where you're like, I've just had about enough, and I'm willing to try anything, like a tarot reading, right? I'm no doctor. I'm not educated. I don't have like that, I did some college and some certificates, but I'm not, I don't even have an associate's degree, right? So I have no right to say, like, this is what you should do. And that's not ever what I'm here to do as a reader. I'm here to intuit deep down beneath the surface. A doctor will never, I'm sorry, but they'll never tell you, okay, well, unless they're like really good and they have multiple fields of education, not just the medical. Most times they're not going to tell you like, you're suffering from sadness, honey. You need to lie down, go in nature. Like, no, okay? No. All right? They're not going to put a stethoscope to your heart and be like, oh my God, you're sad. Go home and rest, honey. No. They're going to be like, here, take this, or... You know what I'm saying, okay? Most times they're not. Most times. I'm not saying all, okay? Because I know there's ones that have wide field of study. Like naturopaths, I'm very well aware, okay? But I'm talking like traditional. You go to the clinic, like, yeah, they're not going to be like, oh, honey, you're just sad. Like, that's why. The deep down, you're just sad. And, you'd have to go to like multiple, like, psychologists, do this and that to get those answers. So I'm here to tell you up front quick. Yeah, sadness and probably anxiety, which is fear. So sad and fear, that makes sense, because fear is next to sadness on the scale of emotions. Afraid this happening again, and sad that this keeps happening, perhaps. So how can we shift that focus? But also, Spirit also wants you to start doing other things. There needs to be a change in your life. They're inviting you to change something. So whatever that may be. Have you dealt with loss? Go back to the time when you used to drink, and even before that, when you first started. Did you suffer a loss at that time? I feel like something's like very sad in the heart, like heartbreaking loss. And that was a way to kind of like fill any loss or sadness. So I think you're healthy in general because you're cleansing that out. It feels like you're detoxing all of that, and it's just taking a long time because you give off that old soul vibe, like you've been through a lot somehow. Does that make sense? Does that happen with you? Could be partner, lover, like maybe father, maybe brother. Feels like a male energy here, a loss of a male person. They felt very close to your heart. Love them to bits. Something I'm getting there. So hopefully this activates that memory bank. You go back in that memory bank and activate. What could have that been? When did that issue happen? A lot of times issues start arising a year and a half after a traumatic experience. So what happened a year and a half before you were diagnosed with this liver thing? Makes sense. So that could also be the two 3, 4, 5 I'm seeing. So that could have been like 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. I'm not sure. You did say 2020, so that doesn't make sense. 3 years, right? Yeah, that does make sense now. But then you have to go back another year, year and a half, maybe 2 years. So that makes sense with 4 or 5. That's why I was confused. So what happened 4 or 5 years ago? 2019, 18. That could have contributed to this, Jocelyn. Yeah. So heal that. Okay, how can you heal that? How can you look at that situation differently? Go within. Why am I sad? Can I forgive this person? Can I let it go? Do I have to attach the shame and guilt, Again, it mostly feels just like, yeah. I'm skipping ahead here. What was I going to say? It's not, the healing solution is not outside of you, right? This is what they're clarifying. It's not outside of yourself. I'm going to say solar plexus. Heart, solar plexus. I'm convinced that this gives solar plexus every time I see this card, because it's holding like this golden shiny object in his belly. So where is that below the heart? Above the belly button. Right here. Where is that liver? No? Was that the pancreas? Oh my god. I'm pretty sure it's the liver. Okay. Anyway. So you see how it's like an advanced network web, right? It's so many little parts and pieces that are connected. They're trying to tell you it's time to release this. It's time to let it go. And this is why this has happened for so long. Are you going to have miraculous overnight by next week recovery and healing? No, because it's been there so long. So you might even feel the ghost effects, like they call ghost pains, of what you've experienced and encountered. Side effects of suffering for so long, right? That's what I'm trying to say. But I do see miraculous healing once you pinpoint what happened those years and what contributed and how and why and all that good stuff. Because you might have quit. Let's say, for example, you might have quit drinking the same time this horrible event happened. So that could have complicated things. Like sometimes when we let go of one thing, another new thing forms, right? Is what I'm trying to say. So what happened at that time? I'm not saying it has to do with drink. I'm just saying as an example. What happened? Go back. So yeah, it will take time. The healing journey always does. It's a journey, not a destination. So also keep reading that Bible. These books keep drawing me in. Meaning, doesn't have to be literal, but like meaning keep your faith alive, right? Just keep the faith alive. Keep it open. Be an open book. Be open to receive more help or different sources of guidance. If you tried one person or doc or whoever, like try another or try another opinion or try a third, try a friend. What did they have to say? Try someone in the comments. What did they have to say? Read the comments, Let's help each other out, right? We're all family in this universal web, right? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the second spread. So it's already been like half an hour. Although I know I took some time in the beginning. So this will be a bit longer than an hour because, yeah, just to be fair, because for the prayer time and then the time in the beginning I took. So I don't want to take from your reading. This is always supposed to be if you book a 15-minute, you guys, and Jocelyn included, the reading is a 15 minutes. It's not like, if I took 5 minutes in the beginning to read your message and discuss with you, the video is going to be maybe 17, 18, 20 minutes, right? I don't take typically time too much from your reading. If it's a 30-minute, it's 30-minute reading, right? Hour, I respect that. So I try my best. Some days you can only do so much, right? But I would say this was tough. This was tough. You know why I'm getting that vibe? I feel like you are seeking answers, and sometimes the answers are not coming. And this is why the cards portray themselves the way they do. So sometimes we need to let go of needing an answer. Like I said earlier, existing, living with how you currently are, accepting it, moving on, letting it go. And then we notice, wait a minute, there's not an issue anymore. There's not a problem because I let it go, because I'm not stressed about it. Not saying you ignore it, not saying you neglect to take care of it and stop taking what you're taking to take care of it, perhaps. But what I'm trying to say is, changing how we view it. Sometimes we have to look at it, oh, I'm just taking my vitamins, right, in the morning or something like that, right? Changing our perception of our reality. But no, this does feel like a soul experience. I'm going to stick with that. And is it going to be eternal? We'll see. Lifelong, chronic. We'll see. Maybe. God's on your side, though. God's on your side. Absolutely. I call this, more than anything, the God card. The Hierophant usually reminds me of an important professor, like a judge in a court, or just God. Don't forget, you are the God too. You are part of creation too. You are the answer too. Right? A lot of times prayer doesn't work because we forget we are the solution as well. Sometimes the prayer, God will tell us, hey, you already have the answer you need. And that's the healing. That's the miraculous. That's God too, you know? Like sometimes we just need a reminder. Okay, so I don't know if there's a lover in your life, but there is something, again, lover coming through. It's like, yeah, absolutely. They could have contributed to this. Maybe things went sour in the past, okay? And this could have been like something you held on, maybe some resentment or some hard feelings, some things that were said to each other, and heated exchange that didn't go right, and yeah, it caused damage. And I think they're probably going through it as well. Or like I said earlier, they probably passed on if this was years ago. Or it seems like they have because they're no longer in your life. Okay, I don't want to say death always because that comes up, but I had that impression earlier. Okay, some of them meant a lot to you, but they hurt you in some way still. Maybe it hurt that they left your life, or if they did pass on, you know, my vibe, again, the whole reading, it's almost as if it has nothing to do with the liver itself. That was just a warning mechanism. That is what I get. There's things left unsaid again. Sometimes we have to realize, what are we stressed about when everything just is? I'm almost being led to talk about other things too, you know, like in a more general reading format. So that's what I'm going to do. I forgot to do some card tapping. But they want you to start doing other things. Remember I said that earlier? The Spirit wants you to start doing other things in this life. It is a time of changing what you are doing, how you're going about things. So maybe if it has been a long time, since you looked within and figured out what was that feeling I'm feeling, and can I sit in that uncomfortable feeling, then do it. Because it's always better to sit in an uncomfortable emotion than to sit in pain and suffering all the life, you know. I think someone did you wrong here. I all of a sudden heard, I'm sorry. This feels like someone passed on too. So even if it's not the past lover that's passed on, it could be multiple factors. Maybe a lover that left your life and then someone passed on, maybe the same time, around those years I mentioned earlier. Maybe you had one of those like tough years. And it took your body some time to process it. And it can be stressful to this very day because no one taught us how to deal or manage with that stress. And this feels also like you are sole responsibility. You were left alone to take care of everything on your own. And that responsibility you bear often in the heart and the solar, because the solar is where it's like where you hold your powerhouse, but also you lose power when you feel too responsible. When you give your power to someone and say, hey, you know, I depended on you, like lovers do. They depend on each other, right? A lot of times. And now that you're gone, I have to depend on myself. And that was too much for you to bear. And it feels like the belly, I see like a wrenching, squeezing type feeling. Like, oof, I feel it in my gut. This hasn't been an easy path for you. No, it has not. In a weird way, also, this health stuff complements you because this is going to give you a priceless life experience that you can take with you and realize how truly powerful you were all along. That no matter what you go through, it's almost like once you've been through this, nothing can scare you anymore. Nothing can make you that sad or deeply afraid because you know how to get through it. Because you know you are the answer here. And everyone has to deal with loss in their own unique time. It's not easy. Again, the cup's coming through. Maybe you've been spending less time with others, loved ones. Maybe you feel like alone. You don't have that around you. You want that support. And I hope you find it, because that too can be healing and helpful. A hug, you know, someone to cry and laugh with, right? Don't ever let yourself get numb to the pain, though. Don't ever let yourself get so hurt by life that you become numb. They're warning you about this. There's a possibility that you get there, that you don't care about that anymore. You don't care about anything. Someone once told me, and he was a psychologist, actually, now that I think about it. Funny we mentioned doctors or psychologists earlier. He told me, Tony, no matter what happens, always keep your heart open. Because life shows you more times than not how to close off. There's so many bad people lurking in every corner of every street. And it's easy to look at the bad and say, this is it, we're doomed. There's no right or wrong way. Because we can accept the doom, but then we're doomed because we accepted our fate. So I too do not hold all the keys to the answers. This is like, again, the web. Like, it's so complicated that I almost, like, this sounds bad, but I don't know what to tell you, because this is just something that you have to experience. And as soon as you can accept that, the better it is for you. Because then there's going to be nothing you have to accept. When everything is, it just is, and then it's no longer an issue. So if we're doomed to this reality, per se, and we accept it, we let go, we don't care, is that true peace, though? Because they could be, maybe we're numbing it, we're blocking it off. There's so many contradictions to life. This is why I said earlier, even the docs do not know. Even they contradict. Everything, because everything is a contradiction. Everything. Even my messages. Even these cards, even life itself, maybe even God. God is one big contradiction, because you know why? He knows darn well he is, because there are also many contradictions in the book. There are also many contradictions to how it relates to life. There are many differing opinions, even from people who believe, right? Contradictions are everywhere. That's life. I thought of this morning. I remembered when God once told me, this is the second level of hell. And I believe him. Every teaching will tell you life is suffering. It's how you perceive life that is no longer suffering. You see? So, perception is key. How do you see your health issue, or whatever you're going through? This can be whatever else too, okay? Because I wanted more a general focus, although sometimes I try to make it the way, when I try, Spirit's like, nope, I'm going to keep talking about the same subject. It doesn't work. When I try to divert the subject, it doesn't work. They have to divert it for me, okay? Because I guess this is just a really crucial message for you and everyone, I guess, watching if this video goes live, You hold the key, you hold the power. I think you gradually will get better with time, just by you doing that, just by you realizing your strength to get over everything, and with age and time to say, you know what, F it. This is not something I let hold me back. It's just one of many things that could. I can still move on. I just actually read, I finished a book called 5 Lives Remembered. And it's ironic, because now isn't that the Titanic little like subboat thingy that went to the Titanic is missing, right? At sea, there's like a billionaire on board, whatever. Okay. I just read in that book too that they regressed to a past event where there was this boat called the Scorpion, the same submarine. And not the same submarine, but like a submarine in general, right? Same kind of issue. And they all passed away because they were lost at sea and they could never find them, and they only had so much oxygen. So, and then like the next day I heard about this Titanic thing. I'm like, oh my God, like what is going on in the spirit realm? And then I'm telling you this to tell you my point. What was my point? Today, this morning, I finished that book. I read in the book that this lady that co-wrote the book with her husband, who did the past life regressions, he got in a horrible car accident. And they said he's going to die. He could never make it. Spirit shows me messages for these readings. Throughout the day, I'm always listening. Because I know that they're going to show me stuff I need to share. And it's no coincidence you want to share this public. So in that book, this morning I read, and I just finished that book, that he recovered. He made it. They said he had no chance, not possible. They could even barely pull him out of the wreckage. He was so damaged. The bone marrow was getting to his brain, like horrible. Disfigured. He healed totally. Face became recognizable as if nothing happened. Scars healed. Legs healed. Like he could even walk years later. He healed his depression. But you know why? Because they saw in the regression, one of the ladies that was being regressed in hypnosis saw the regressor, him in hypnosis in the future, and said, you're going to live a long life. So the wife held on to that belief and knew that he would live long. So it was not possible he would die in that car wreck. So that belief, how she perceived the reality, made him heal. And I'm sure he believed too, because he remembered. Maybe his spirit came through when he was in a coma-like state or something, in the hospital. So what I'm getting at here is, what do you see? Are we doomed? Do I think I'm doomed? Do you think you're doomed? Are we all doomed to suffer? Are we going to live a long, happy life? What do you see? What do you believe? What sits right? What did you always say to yourself when you were a kid? I'm going to live a long life, or I'm going to die by the time I'm 30. What did you used to always say? What sits more right with you? What timeline sits right with you? Is all hope lost, truly? Truly, is all hope lost? I can't tell you the answer. Only you hold the answer. These two final outcome cards, I can perceive them both as not the outcome I was expecting or hoping or anticipating. Even the card that flung out, I'm like, well, oof. I mean, come on, Spirit, you can do better than that. Come on, for goodness sake. But I'm going to leave it to you. I'm going to leave it to you and say, you know what? This is the answer you're looking for, is what you're looking for. I can't tell you. I have no right to tell you. I perceive it a different way than you. How do you perceive it? I can tell you many miraculous stories from people I know. I won't, because we don't have the time. But anything's possible, that's all I'll tell you. So if you believe you heal and you deserve to heal, what do you expect your result to be? And even if you don't, what do you expect your result to be? It's what you expect your result to be. It's how you perceive it, is what I'm trying to say. How are you perceiving life? How you perceive one thing is how you perceive most everything, no? So if we perceive something with an emotion of stress, of anxiety, then are we not perceiving everything through those eyes? I think this taught you to be a fighter, taught you to be stronger. You definitely grew tougher. Now it's time to let go, be more carefree. Gratitude, practice gratitude. For the moments, the days where you feel better, where you feel great. Thankfulness, great gratitude prayers on those days. thanking God for everything. And even if you lost someone, not all is lost. I do see you moving on. I do. Confidently, I can rest assured say, I see you, and let this be your encouragement, because it's true. I see you moving on, forgiving, healing, but you have to do the work. You have to be a fighter for yourself more than anyone. So now's not the time to take care of other people's needs. I got some great advice the other day, like, this is so true, like, because sometimes it gets to that breaking point, we have to hear sometimes F others when you have to take care of yourself first, something like that. Like, you know what, forget about others. If my needs are not met, I cannot even work, I cannot function, I cannot help anyone, I cannot help heal anyone. I can't do anything. So I have to, if I feel I'm tired, I need to take that nap, child, I'm gonna take that nap. Like, there's no rush, right? What's the rush? Forget about it, right? So maybe your spirit cannot lead you to new ground until you change something. So you're looking for a change, but you need to... Okay, I don't believe we need to do anything, right? Let me not say that, but they're guiding you to something new, but before that, you have to change something within you, make something new within you. Again, either the way you look at something or perceive it, or even just gratitude when someone helps you out, that doctor helps you out. Thank you. Even if you didn't help me, you didn't make my problem any better, thank you for trying. Something like that. Because we get to a point where we fight and resist the challenges of life so much, that's all we get is fight, resist. If you're always in boxer mode, warrior mode, that's what you're going to get. And then sometimes when we are passive, we let go, we don't fight, we win. This is what I'm seeing in my mind. Like an army coming at you, many men, and then you're on the opposite end. The fighters are always the first to go, because it's obvious, like, the enemies, the opponents are always looking at the fighters. That's all they see, because the war is the only thing on their mind. So if you ever stood there passively, crossed your hands, or just held a shield and just stood in one place, or just acted dead on the ground, they're not going to see you, and you're going to survive. Does that make sense? So, the fighting, resisting universal force energies are only going to focus on the fighting universal. So when we're in resistance and fight, trying to make things better, trying to force things, it causes issues. This is your time to change that, to be more passive, carefree. Sometimes we have to have a you only live once attitude. Responsibly, but without the pressure of responsibility. This doesn't mean going back to old ways. This just means looking at things anew, from a new, fresh beginning, starting point. Okay, so I am going to pull one more final outcome card before we're complete to leave off the message. I have a feeling it's going to be a Cups card. Watch. Oh, okay, I guess not. Well, it's still a soft, gentle card. I see you healed, happy, whole, and complete. But it doesn't have to be perfect or what you used to expect. Because again, by the time you get there... Okay, so what I'm trying to get at is you're not the same at 20 versus 40 versus 60 versus 80. So your new version of healed is going to look different than what you think it should be. And so you're going to be healthy for that age, what I'm trying to say. I think they wanted to surprise you at the end with this because they didn't want to show you yet the answer, so that you don't expect an answer, so that you can trust your internal guidance. They wanted you to tap into that more. I see you fine as if nothing happened. How long? Well, should we see how long? How long until full and complete total healing, stress-free, healthy, happy body? I keep getting 2s in the middle. No answer. No answer. Honestly, no answer. No. I can't say. They don't want you to know, because again, that's expectation. And sometimes I just can't pinpoint it. So. It feels like a lifelong journey. It feels like as long as you need, you're going to have this experience and then you'll move on. It's not going to be crippling, debilitating. It's not going to be any worse than it is, you know. Sometimes we have to learn to live with something, I think is the lesson. And when we do, there's nothing, no problem, right? There's no issue anymore. It's not coping, it's just living. I think when we truly can live with our circumstances, with the tools we were given, that's living the best way we know how. Because we all going through something, no? No one's perfect, nothing's perfect in this imperfect universe. Alrighty, so I think we have to end on that note. And I'm going to go ahead and begin. Being therefore justified by faith, we have peace with God through our Lord Jesus Christ, through whom we also have our access by faith into this grace in which we stand. We rejoice in hope of the glory of God. Not only this, but we also rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces perseverance, and perseverance proven character, and proven character hope. And hope doesn't disappoint us, because God's love has been poured into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who was given to us. See, God's love through our heart and hope. Hope. I was even going to say that word earlier. Hope. Not all hope is lost. Suffering produces perseverance, absolutely. And character. And maybe that's what the lesson is. You already have all the answers. Romans 8:38 through 39. Here we go. For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor things present, nor things to come, nor powers, nor height, nor depth, nor any other created thing will be able to separate us from God's love, which is in Christ Jesus our Lord. Amen. Let me read that again. For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor things present, nor things to come, nor powers, nor height, nor depth, nor any other created thing will be able to separate us from God's love, which is Christ Jesus our Lord. So you wanted Psalm 91. I love that one. I actually have that one bookmarked in my Bible too. Oh boy, so it's going to take me some time to scroll. Let's see if I can scroll faster. No, there's no faster way to do this. Let me see. Hold on. There has to be a way. There's a will, there's a way, no? Yeah. Here, I got to enter it in the URL. 91 dot. There we go. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of Yahweh, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. For He will deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with His feathers. Under His wings you will take refuge. His faithfulness is your shield and rampart. You shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor of the arrow that flies by day, nor of the pestilence that walks in darkness, nor of the destruction that wastes at noonday. 1,000 may fall at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only look with your eyes and see the recompense of the wicked, because you have made Yahweh your refuge, and the Most High your dwelling place. No evil shall happen to you, neither shall any plague come near your dwelling. For He will put His angels in charge of you, to guard you in all your ways. They will bear you up in their hands, so that you won't dash your foot against a stone. You will tread on the lion and cobra. You will trample the young lion and the serpent underfoot, because He has set His love on me. Therefore I will deliver him. I will set him on high, because he has known my name. He will call on me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. I will satisfy him with long life and show him my salvation. Thank you so much. God bless you, Jocelyn. Love and light. That was beautiful. Thank you for allowing me to do that prayer together and for sharing this with my audience. So I got one video out of the way today, I guess. I decided let's share it. Why not? I'm not even going to upload, get a second opinion. I'll just confirm with you. I'll share it. And then, so I have a feeling this is right. There was nothing too, deeply private, personal. I never get there anyway, because it's obviously I don't know anyone's name, right? I don't have names. I don't you know what I'm saying? You didn't mention anyone else's name, first name, last name, right? So there's nothing too private. There's no address, there's numbers, stuff like that. So this is worth sharing. And I feel it's going to be a nice lesson also, and just what people need to hear at this time, I believe. So if you'd like to book your own personal reading, this is how tarot readings work. This is how a custom reading looks like. Everyone's reading is different. Everyone's reading has different messages. I've done this thousands of times. No two readings are alike. That's what's beautiful about it. So book yourself a service today. This was an hour-long reading. You can use that coupon code 20% off 22 if you sign up for my newsletter, or if you've already booked one of my services before. Thank you. Link below, and subscribe to the bell, have all notifications. So I'm probably going to title this "What a Tarot Reading Booking." This is what a client's tarot reading looks like, something like that. I'll have to come up with a decent name. All right. Thank you for allowing me to share, Jocelyn. Wishing you the best, and thank you, Poopsies, for watching. Bye-bye.